Hello there, my friends. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another weigh-in day. Lordy, lordy. Second one for January already. I don't know where the time is going. I say that a lot, don't I? I must just be getting old, which I know I am. Anyway, so much to my surprise, the scale was very kind to me today. All things considered, all the sabotaging I did this past week, yeah, some of it was due to the medication I'm taking, but you know what? I'm not going to make excuses. The medicine really is making me feel a little restless. I'm not sleeping, blah, blah, blah. You know all that stuff already. Not going to rehash. But I still think I could have made better choices. I know better, and I am not going to sit here and put the blame on a medication. The medication does cause weight gain in the sense that you retain water. And I know I certainly did not drink a lot of water this week. I didn't. I know I didn't. I think I may have made 64 ounces a few days, but certainly not every day. So, and that's the normal amount that I drank. That's not anything extra. What else did I want to say about that? So yes, and I can tell by my hands. My hands always tell me if I'm retaining water. So I do feel somewhat bloated, and okay, I have 3 pills left to take, I believe, as it stands now, including tonight's. So this will be out of my system hopefully within the next week or so entirely. But I can tell you this, even having decreased down, because you take it so many days and you decrease a certain amount each day, I already feel a difference. So hopefully it'll be out and gone sooner than later. But in spite of all of that, the chocolate, the peanut butter, the cookies, the whatever, the peanuts, I have lost 1.8 pounds. I was 145.8 last Tuesday when I weighed in the morning, and this morning I was 144. So to my calculation, correct me if I'm wrong, that's 1.8 pounds. So what was that 1.8 pounds? It was just the excess that I ate on New Year's Day. I almost want to say entirely the buildup of, the week and a half before, but the real cream on the cake was everything I did to myself on January 1st, really, honestly. So moving forward, okay, so, that's in the bank now. I am 1.8 less than what I was a week ago, so let's see what we do going forward. I am really pleased with doing this plan. I am happy that I have started this plan well before starting my new job, because I have to figure out ways to be able to eat quantities of food that will keep me satisfied in a short period of time. And that was an issue for me over the summertime. But if I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to make it work, because I really am not intending on leaving Slimming World. I just hope that they will come back to the United States. So let's put that out there to the universe, okay? I would love to see them come back to the United States. That would be very helpful to me. And other people who might want to do this plan. Anybody can do this plan. I mean, there is a lovely person who puts a updated version out there on the internet every year. So it is possible to do it without having the app. Right now, I'm immersing myself a little bit into this app because I want some information, because that's just how I am. And I did attend my first event of this sign up. I have been to events before, certainly not as many as I plan to do now. And basically we talked about your motivation, getting your motivation, where you're getting your motivation from, what are your goals. We usually do not wake up and say, I'm going to sabotage my day today, do we? I know I don't do that. You all know by now, I do very well all day long. I don't think anybody really wakes up with the intention of, I'm on this plan, but I'm going to do everything I can to not follow anything according to plan today, and I'm going to eat, an entire chocolate cake or what have you. So what happens to people? Why are we not successful in getting through, let's say, the night eating? Maybe we need to do a little planning. Now, this is something that is reminiscent to me of Weight Watchers. I know we had this as a topic for our talks more than once. I remember clearly. planning for what you're going to have at night. What I did when I was doing Nutrisystem is I would eat, because I eat later in the day, I would have snacks for the evening. That is a good way to plan, just to make, but you have to make sure you have the things that are not trigger foods that are going to satisfy you. That's another big thing. I say this all the time. I know you've heard me say it. It has to look good, it has to taste good, it has to smell good, or guess what? You're not going to be on plan very long. So if you're going to try to substitute a trigger food for something that's a healthier version of that food, or for something that's going to be low in sins, because ultimately these things that we usually like have sins. Okay, maybe this is an idea. Lily's, and there's another company, the name is escaping me, makes chocolate chips that are made with stevia. And even if you can't get that, even if you need to use those little tiny mini microscopic looking chocolate chips, you could technically make yourself a parfait. If you can use the chocolate syrup that I use. You can put a few little mini marshmallows in there and just send the marshmallows. There are a lot of different ways to take a healthier, something healthy, and to tweak it with some things that are going to have sins, but not to overload your sins. Because the mission is, yes, we have the sins, but it is not to break the sin bank every day. The sins are there. They are the limit, right? They're not the target. And I am referring to my notes because I did write some notes to try to keep myself from going off on tangents, which you know I do. So let's say you want to make a parfait and you want to use yogurt. Maybe you'll take your favorite Muller Light yogurt or a 000 yogurt. If you're in the States, we have that. We have many others as well. Chobani makes 60-calorie yogurts that have flavor. So you want to use that half a cent to a cent and a half or whatever it might be. Put some fruit in there. Preferably unsweetened. Even if it's just free fruit, it's still better than eating chocolate cookies, right? So it could be bananas, mangoes, pineapples, mixed in with speed. Speed is always preferred, but you could do that, right? Make it the way I layer it in the morning. When you've seen me eat it, show it to you in my videos. You could even take a Weetabix. Even let's say you take Social Tea cookies or some very low sin biscuit type cookie, okay? And you use a cookie and you sprinkle it, or even a graham cracker, let's say. You crush this and you sprinkle it in between, you sprinkle some on top. You would be surprised at how different it will taste and how much more satisfying it will be, because you're not going to be thinking about, this is not what I really want. I really want to have X, Y, or Z. You're going to be thinking about, gee, this really tastes good and I'm enjoying it. Because that is the mission, right? Always the mission. We must enjoy the food, because again, I could sit here and eat, let's say, okay, I'm going to have an apple, a pear, and an orange, let's say. If I'm really looking for something cake-like or cookie-like, I'll eat that, and then I will still end up eating things that are high in sins. Let's just leave it at that. If I don't find something to satisfy me to the point where I'm not thinking about those other things that I really want to decide to have, that I know I don't really want to have because I don't want to blow my sins, let's say, then I need to come up with something. So you could use your healthy extra beef for the day. Mince pies. Everybody just got off the mince pie kick. Some of us still have it. I don't have any more in my house. There is a recipe through Slimming World, just an example. You really feel like having mince pie. Well, you can make a baked mince pie bake, a baked oats. So is it going to be mince pie? No, but is it going to be a good substitute? And is it going to really fill that cavity, let's say? That's a poor choice of words, I know, but it's late and I'm getting tired. My brain is getting tired. Is it going to fill that desire? That's what I really wanted to say. For a mince pie. Is it a good substitute? Can you do something else with it to make it even taste better? Can you maybe put a little more apple into it? I know that recipe calls for sultanas, raisins, and apples, I believe. The seasoning is free, so you can season it up as much as you like. But even if you need to make a baked something, okay, that is not going to be sin-free, that's going to be a healthy extra A and a healthy extra B involved, let's say, or just the B and not the A, it's still better to do that than it is to go off plan. That is our mission, to find ways around. It's like a go around kind of thing. It's like a little game that we have to play, except that in the end, we're going to create new habits that are going to substitute for those old habits. And does that mean we're never going to eat chocolate again? Of course not. That's not the mission. I think that's a ridiculous mission. If anybody's on that mission, please get off it. It's not realistic. It's not sustainable. It's just not. And people who push themselves so far into that corner usually end up yo-yo dining and backfiring. I've done it many times. So we're not in the mission. That's not our mission here. Our mission is to find healthier ways of making really delicious food that's going to be satisfying to us, in a nutshell. And adding lots of speed to your plate is going to help you lose your weight. And finding ways to eat these speed vegetables, for those that don't like them, you have to get creative. There are ways that you can do that. We have cookbooks. We have access through the app. We have the internet. We have each other to ask, hey, gee, I really don't like this vegetable, but, maybe if I make it in a different way, it's more palatable to me. Don't be afraid to get creative in your kitchen. It's great to have recipes, yes, but it's also great to just go in your cabinet and take out things that you like and start cooking. It really is. Once you've started to do that, you'd be amazed. It makes your life very easy, especially if you're very busy, and you take stress off yourself. If you find simple recipes that you can just repeatedly tweak and make different ways, take same ingredients, use it 10 different ways, type of thing, you will be a happier person. You will be a person who is at peace with yourself, because the stress of coming home and having to put a full meal together that's compliant with your plan is not always an easy thing to do. It's just not. So the more we find ways around it that are within plan, the easier it will become. And easier is always good when you're trying to maintain a weight loss plan. It definitely is a help. So we should be food optimizing. If we're trying to get back on track, the more we food optimize, the healthier we're going to be, because they did say what I always say. The bottom line of this is not vanity, it is health. We are all trying to get healthy, whether or not we're focused on having to get in a dress to go to a wedding. That's all well and good. But in the end of the day, when you have a lot of weight to lose, and in my case, I'm an older person now, I have arthritis, I have different reasons. I am in good health, thank God, but I have reasons. I want to prevent problems. That's why I want to be at my healthy goal weight. I am not there. I am overweight. Whether or not people want to believe that, even the new doctor I went to, she said, this is your BMI scale. And I looked at her and I said, I don't care what your BMI scale says. I know that I am overweight. And I'm not being vain. It is the truth. I don't agree with her. But you know what? Doctors are really not good nutritionists at all. So I'll give her that much. Anyway, so keep in mind, now, there's all different opinions on this. The school of thought on the Slim World Plan is that you are not to have to weigh or measure free foods. Eat them freely. Now, they also, by the same token, see, this is the same thing that happens in Weight Watchers, just a different version of it. A third, and a third is what they tell you should do for your meal. A third of speed, a third of protein, and a third of carb. I'm calling it carb. I don't know what they call it. Okay? And that should be all free foods and speed foods on the plate. Now, that's portion control. Whether or not they want to admit to it, they're not telling you to sit down with a jar of macaroni sauce, okay, that's 1.5 cents for the jar, let's say, and a pound of macaroni, and sit there and then put your healthy extra A on it, maybe two of them, you'll need it, with this big bowl of macaroni and sauce. They're not telling you that. They're telling you, yes, eat as much as you need to eat to be full, but in the same breath, they're also telling you that you should be mindful of your portions without telling you that, because they're telling you a third, which is fine. I don't think they're being in any way unscrupulous or deceitful, but I just think that I like to call a spade a spade. Free food is not calorie free. Unless it's calorie free and it says it. I don't find any of the free foods that I'm eating to be calorie free. Now, free in the sense that you're free to eat them until you're full, I understand. But everything has calories. So I have to be mindful, and I'm just saying, they are, without saying it, telling you to be mindful of your portions, which in the end of the day, portion control leads to calorie control. I'm sorry, I said the bad word. In Weight Watchers, you can't say that word either. Weight Watchers, nothing has calories. Okay? I don't have a problem with any of that. I am a person I've been called a realist. Okay? And I also call a spade a spade. And that's just me. I don't mean to offend anyone out there by any means. I am not an authority on anything, but I am an authority on me. And I know that I also believe that all calories are not created equal. I believe that we need to focus on nutrition, which Slimming World actually makes us do. Kudos to them, because by giving us the guidelines that they give us for the way we're supposed to be eating when we're on that plan, we are nutritionally balanced. If we are eating correctly, a third, 3 times a day, having our fruit and our yogurt and what have you. If we're doing all those things, we are eating a balanced diet 80% of the time, let's say, even including having some sins. So I give them that, and that is the reason why this plan is the plan that I want to follow. Because I don't think that just having any kind of calories all day long is nutritionally sound. Do people lose weight just counting calories? Yes, they do. Absolutely, they do. You can find videos on YouTube of people who have eaten junk food and they've lost their weight, counting the calories, eating junk food all day. I'm not going to disagree with that. However, there's more to it than that. In order to be a healthy human being, you need to eat healthy. You need to put certain things in your body to keep you healthy. And that requires doing more than calorie counting. Again, people who calorie counting may not be happy with me right now, and that's okay. I understand. Everybody, that's why we're all different. That's why we're individuals. That's what makes the world go round. I look at other people, I don't always agree with them, but I give them the credit that's due, that's their opinion, and I listen to their opinion. Whether I agree with it or not is my choice, but I have respect for their opinion. Not always, in all cases. There are some that I've come across that I don't, but I don't tell them that. It's not my business. I don't have to watch the channel. But my point is that it's all about the balance. It's all about the nutrition. It's all about the health. And the sins are not, okay, I have 15, I'm going to eat 15. Like the one coach said, now she's reached her target weight. So I'm calling it lifetime. I don't know what they call it on Slimming World. I forgot. But in Weight Watchers, you call it lifetime. So she's returned to meetings now. She is running meetings, but she also returned because she wants to refresh herself. And in fact, Alan of Al Geeky Slimmer, with his little dog Boris, was talking about this, about how he looked at his app and he is using the app now, and he's realizing, wow, the sins have changed on some foods, or he really didn't realize the sins on some foods. And by looking at the app and seeing what the sins are, he's paying a lot more attention. And again, tracking in your app is tracking your food. I mean, it's really not, it just doesn't tell you the calories, but you are tracking your food. You're watching your food. The purpose of tracking our food is so we know what we ate, whether we write it on a sheet or we put it in the app. I mean, we do need to pay attention. If we're having issues and we go to group, I don't go to group obviously, but if I was having an issue when I was in Weight Watchers, I would be able to look in the app with my coach or share it. Even in NutriCheck, you can share your tracking with your coach if you have a coach that you're doing calorie counting with, and you could share it. And they can look at it and give you feedback. So yeah, it's important to track. It's important to be aware. Anything that we could do to be more aware of what it is that we're doing is going to be beneficial to us losing weight and keeping it off, because that's the mission. We want to do things that are going to help us create habits and enjoy foods, develop, we can still start to like foods that we never really liked before. Maybe we just didn't make them in a certain way that we and that's why we didn't like them. Maybe we only ever had them cooked in one certain way, and now we've tried to season them differently, or to cook instead of boiling, we're roasting or baking or what have you. Changes the flavor of the food, and in turn, that's why we have these cookbooks. Slimming World gave us a new cookbook. We have cookbooks. Weight Watchers also has cookbooks, because if you try, it leads you to try different things. And then what I do is I'll look at a recipe and I will just tweak it to my liking. And that's exactly what we should be doing. I like this, and this about the recipe, so that's the parts I'm going to use. And maybe I'm going to try a little something different to see, based on foods that you enjoy or that you already enjoy eating. Now, if it's something that you don't enjoy eating, you might want to delve into some recipes and try them. You'd be surprised. It happens that people change their minds about a certain food. They never really thought they'd like it before. I love rutabaga. Not that I wouldn't like it. That wasn't why I wasn't eating it. I just really didn't have that in my circle of things that I eat. And now, since I started Slimming World, I've been buying it, and I really, really like it. So that's opened up a door for me to eat something, because variety is the spice of life, right? We need to also not be eating the same things all the time. So that's about all I wanted to talk about. I do have some other notes here, but I'm not here to give you the Slimming World meeting. I'm just here to give you my impressions of things based on what I'm doing, so that you know what I'm doing, if you're interested, and also to motivate you. I really would love to motivate other people to take better care of themselves. You know how I'm always saying, take good care of yourself, do one thing a day. It's very important. You want to live your best life, don't you? Well, in order to do that, you need to figure out ways to take care of yourself. And that's a personal thing, and that takes a lot of work, because especially, trust me, if you're a young person and you have a family or you have a career, it's really easy to forget about you. You start to go like on the back burner because you're so busy taking care of everyone else that you don't even think about you. I know how I was. I was a student. I worked full time. I had 2 children, a cat, a dog, and a husband, and a house to take care of. Homework to do, report writing, what have you. So it's easy. You're busy like that. Those kinds of things are going to happen. But that doesn't mean that you can't work toward doing better in that department, because I had no one to tell me that. So I kind of feel like I'm a messenger in a way to somebody that might hear this message that I'm sending out there that might possibly be helped by it. And so, yeah, I lost 1.8. I'm going to say goodbye to you now, because I am here talking for 23 minutes. And I will send you hugs. I will thank you for having, if you got this far, thank you very much. And all the new people that have come, thank you so much for joining me on my channel. It really feels so good to have you here. I hope that I'm offering you something that is helpful. If you could tell me where you came from in the comments, I would love to know. Did you come from recommended on the top of your screen when you go on YouTube? Did you come through people who watch Nikki in a Vlog, or Joe's Slimming World Journey, or Al Geeky Slimmer, and so on? Also watch this person. I'm interested to know. I really am very curious. So if you don't mind dropping a line about that, I appreciate it. And I hope I got back to everyone on the comments. I was behind on that. I apologize. I hope that I gave up through today. And I will check more frequently. I did answer back. So thank you all for your comments. And okay, now I'm really going to say goodbye. But let me let Leela say hello. Since she's jumping around back there, say, hi, my name is Leela Bella, and I'm Mommy's sweet little girl. Okay, I will see you soon. Take care now. Thanks for watching.